Bob loved his lawn. It was his pride and joy. Every Saturday, he mowed it with care. He used his old, reliable mower. It was a ritual for him. Bob would whistle a happy tune. He'd think about his day, the sun would be shining, life was good. Bob liked things simple. He didn't need fancy gadgets. His old mower was perfect, or so he thought. The commercial was mesmerizing. It was like nothing Bob had ever seen before. The sleek design, the promise of effortless lawn care, and the idea of having a perfectly manicured lawn without lifting a finger were all too enticing. The mower moved on its own, gliding smoothly over the grass. It was almost like watching a futuristic dance, the way it navigated around obstacles with ease. It cut the grass perfectly, leaving behind immaculate stripes that looked like they belonged on a professional sports field. Bob could already picture his neighbor's envy, and it even played music. The idea of having a lawnmower that could entertain while it worked was just the cherry on top. Bob imagined his favorite tunes playing as the mower did its magic. Bob had to have it. He rushed to his computer, heart pounding with excitement, and quickly found the model online. The reviews were glowing, and the features list seemed endless. He imagined himself relaxing with a cold drink, watching the mower do all the hard work. No more sweating in the sun, no more pushing a heavy machine around, just pure, unadulterated relaxation. The new mower would do all the work. The day arrived. Bob could hardly contain his excitement as he tracked the delivery. The new mower was delivered. The delivery man handed over the package with a knowing smile, as if he understood the joy this machine would bring. Bob was like a kid at Christmas. He tore open the box, his eyes widening as he saw the sleek, shiny mower inside. He couldn't wait to try it out. He quickly skimmed through the manual, eager to get it up and running. Saturday couldn't come soon enough. Bob unpacked the mower, carefully assembling each part. The anticipation was almost too much to bear. It was even shinier in person. The metallic finish gleamed in the sunlight, promising efficiency and style. This was going to be epic. Bob could already see the transformation his lawn would undergo, and he couldn't wait to show it off to everyone. Bob charged the battery. He read the instructions, sort of. He was ready to unleash the future of lawn care. He turned on the mower. It whirred to life. Lights flashed, music blared. Bob fumbled with the remote. The mower lurched forward. It sped across the lawn. Bob wasn't ready. This thing had a mind of its own. Section 4. Mayhem in the making. The mower zigged and zagged, moving unpredictably across the once pristine lawn. It was as if it had a mind of its own, refusing to follow any logical path. It was like a runaway train, barreling through the garden with reckless abandon. The speed and chaos were almost mesmerizing, yet terrifying. Bob chased after it, helpless. His heart pounded as he sprinted, trying to catch up with the rogue machine. He could hardly believe what was happening. This was not in the brochure. The promises of an easy, carefree mowing experience seemed like a cruel joke now. The brochure had shown a serene, controlled environment, not this pandemonium. The mower crashed into Bob's prized rose bushes. Thorns flew everywhere, scattering like shrapnel. His beautiful roses, the pride of his garden, were now in ruins. It mowed down his garden gnome collection. Heads rolled. This was a disaster. The whimsical charm of his garden was being obliterated in seconds. Bob's perfect lawn was being destroyed. The neat green expanse he had worked so hard to maintain was now a battlefield of torn grass and debris. And he was the one who unleashed this metal monster. The frustration and regret were overwhelming. How could something meant to help him create such chaos? Section 5. Neighborhood Watch. The commotion had attracted an audience. Bob's neighbors were watching. They were laughing hysterically. Mrs. Henderson clutched her pearls. Mr. Johnson shook his head, grinning. Even the neighborhood dogs were howling with laughter. Bob was mortified. His face was redder than his roses used to be. This was not how he envisioned his Saturday going. Section 6 there. Laughter is the best medicine. In a quiet suburban neighborhood where the lawns are always perfectly manicured and the houses stand in neat rows, there lived a man named Bob. One sunny afternoon, Bob decided to tackle his lawn with his brand new electric mower. He was excited to see how well it would perform, but to his dismay, the mower finally ran out of battery. It sputtered to a stop, leaving Bob in a rather awkward situation. The scene around him was one of utter chaos. The once pristine lawn was now a battlefield of unevenly cut grass and patches of untouched greenery. Bob stood there, feeling utterly defeated. He looked at his lawn. It was a mess. The vision of a perfect garden he had in his mind was now shattered. He glanced over at his neighbors, hoping they hadn't noticed his gardening disaster. To his surprise, they were all laughing. They were wiping tears of laughter from their eyes, clearly amused by the spectacle. And then something unexpected happened. Bob started to laugh too. It was funny. The absurdity of the situation hit him, and he couldn't help but join in the laughter. His perfect lawn was gone, replaced by a patchwork of chaos. But in that moment, it didn't seem to matter as much. His new mower, which he had high hopes for, turned out to be more of a menace than a help. It had let him down in the most spectacular way. But at least he had a good story to tell. As he recounted the tale to his neighbors, they all shared a good laugh, bonding over the mishap. And maybe, just maybe, he learned his lesson about high-tech gadgets. Sometimes the simplest tools are the best, and sometimes a good laugh is worth more than a perfect lawn.